Live from Calgary, this is the 2020 Stanley Cup Playoffs. Welcome inside to Game 3. Yes, the Sea of Red is rocking tonight from the Saddledome as the Flames and the Oilers get set square off in Game 3 of the Western Conference quarterfinals. David Rittich in net for the Calgary Flames, Mikko Koskinen in net for the Edmonton Oilers. Two goalies that have somewhat struggled in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers lead the NHL in goals for and goals against. Opening minutes here of Game 3. Sean Monahan's got the puck for the Flames. Johnny Gaudreau, 3 points so far in these Stanley Cup Playoffs. Gaudreau losing the puck now. Gaudreau crunched along the boards by Adam Larsson, and he'll sweep up the puck for the Oilers. McDavid gets it to Andres Athanasiou over the blue line. Athanasiou in around Rasmus Andersson, but he steals the puck back for Calgary. Now Johnny Gaudreau up the left side with a shot, and it's stopped up high by Mikko Koskinen. Johnny Gaudreau's got 4 points in the Stanley Cup Playoffs thus far. 3 goals, 1 assist. Don't forget, Johnny Gaudreau just 3 goals coming in to the Stanley Cup Playoffs in his entire career. Mark Giordano, the captain, out there with Rasmus Andersson at the point. He's got the puck now. He walks in with a shot, and it's stopped by Koskinen. The Oilers will put this the length of the ice. So it was an offensive explosion in Game 1. Oscar Klefbom, a huge part of the series thus far through 2 games. In fact, Oscar Klefbom leads the entire NHL in scoring with 6 points through the first 2 games of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. But as mentioned, an offensive explosion that saw 12 goals scored in Game number 1. Another 9 goals scored between these 2 teams in Game number 2. The Edmonton Oilers, of course, taking both games up in Edmonton. Flames come back the other way now. Michael Backlund's lying out there. Backlund streaking in over the line. Drops it back for Tkachuk. And then Tkachuk hits his guy, and the puck deflects to the corner to Michael Backlund, who gets a shot away. And it's stopped by Koskinen. The Flames with a bit of a different strategy here. As we mentioned, Johnny Gaudreau leads that team with 4 points, 3 goals through 2 games. But the Flames with a bit of a different strategy here to try and crack the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously don't want to go down 3-0 at any point in any series, but especially here at home against Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins working in with a shot on Rittich. He turns to the side, and Hamnick picks up the rebound, gets this out to Andrew Mangiapane. Mangiapane yet to record a point in this series. He turns away from his defenseman and gets it back to TJ Brodie, who fires a shot. That one's blocked by Leon Draisaitl. Across to Kyler Yamamoto. Draisaitl with the puck now in the corner. Stops and puts on the brakes. Sends into the slot for Yamamoto, and a kick save there by David Rittich. Calgary picks up and comes back the other way. This is Dylan Dubé across to Andrew Mangiapane and back to Dubé, and that's turned aside by Koskinen. The Oilers will start out. Yamamoto up the right side. Yamamoto working in with a shot, and a stick save there by David Rittich. Derek Ryan elects to get this puck out, but it's caught at the blue line and finally does get it out as he's got it again at center ice. Derek Ryan across to Dylan Dubé. Another shot for Dubé. That's stopped by Koskinen. A big rebound coming out to the point where Andersson corralled it, and now TJ Brodie's got it. Back to Rasmus Andersson. He fires a hard shot, and a pad save again by Mikko Koskinen. Back-to-back action to start game number 3. Here's Ethan Bear down low, working the puck around. The Oilers make a line change on the defense there as Matt Benning tries a shot, then Yamamoto. And David Rittich hanging onto the puck in a large crowd forms. Well, both teams know the importance of getting the first goal in this series. Like I said, it's been a high-scoring affair between these 2 teams through the first 2 games of the 2020 Stanley Cup Playoffs. Likely expect some more fireworks here in Game 3. Edmonton with the puck now across the Calgary zone. Archibald with a shot that deflects off a defender wide. Anderson's got it in the corner, and he's hooked, and that will be our first penalty of Game 3, and it will go to the Edmonton Oilers. Tyler Ennis will sit for 2. The Flames have the best power play through 2 games of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. 2 for 4 at exactly 50% now. That is a small sample size. Elias Lindholm off the draw with the puck. Flames working on the game's first power play. As mentioned, they're 5th of the series. Sam Bennett across to Milan Lucic, and he'll get a shot up high, and that's turned aside by Koskinen. Larson picks it up at the side of the net. The Flames steal it back, scores! Sam Bennett! And the Sea of Red erupts. Calgary scores 1-0 Flames power play goal. Well, the Oilers could not get the puck out, and Adam Larson with a mistake in front. Michael Backlund, the recipient, will throw it across to Sam Bennett. He pops in his first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Bennett, who was huge back in the 2015 Stanley Cup playoffs in his rookie season, shows up with a huge goal here on the power play to kick off Game 3. Bennett's 7th career playoff goal. And that's a big one. Giordano at the point, now the shot, that one blocked. The Flames trying to keep the momentum alive here with the building erupting here in Calgary. Nothing quite like playoff hockey here in the Sea of Red. Here come the Oilers, they're trying to respond. Nugent Hopkins puts one right into the stomach of David Riddick, who elects to hang on. Well, as mentioned, Sam Bennett played 11 career games there in 2015 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Put up 4 points, but he was such a huge factor. Had another 2 goals in the 2017 Stanley Cup playoffs through 4 games. And then last year, had 4 points through 5 games. So Bennett has definitely been a playoff performer in his career. Although those aren't the best numbers, some of the better numbers compared to some of his other teammates through those seasons. Oscar Klefbom to Connor McDavid with a shot up high. Andres Athanasiou gets it back to Klefbom, and Zach Cassian, the other member of that line, will just throw it at Riddick, and he'll glove it down and get it to Mark Giordano. Sean Monahan now. Across to Johnny Gaudreau, and back to Monahan in the slot. He'll walk in with a shot, and Koskinen making the save there. As mentioned, Oscar Klefbom 6 points through 2 games. Connor McDavid just 3 points through the first 2 games. Not bad though for the Oilers captain. 1 goal, 2 assists. Leon Draisaitl, the exact same numbers through the first 2 games of this series. The Oilers' offense has definitely been spread out through the first 2 games. Third line's out there now, dueling, as the faceoff is won by Riley Sheahan, and now Tyler Ennis has it over the blue line, and Ennis will bring this one in and center it across, and a poke check there by Riddick. Now Archibald will get a shot away. That one doesn't make its way to the net. Calgary breaks out Milan Lucic. Lucic across. Drops it now for TJ Brody, and Brody will take this behind the Oilers net and get it back to Lucic, the former Oiler. Across to Travis Hamonic with a shot up high, and that one's stopped by Mikko Koskinen. Well, how about Milan Lucic? 3rd in the Calgary Flames in scoring through 2 games. 2 goals and 1 assist through the first 2 games. Not a bad way for Milan Lucic to start his playoffs. And James Neal for the Oilers, just 1 point through the first 2 games. Of course, again, small sample size, but right now the Flames getting what they expected out of number 17 when they made that trade. A guy that can perform in the Stanley Cup playoffs and brings experience. Here come the Edmonton Oilers with the shot right on it. Riddick at the top of the blue paint to stop that one from Archibald. And coming back to James Neal, he's no playoff slouch either. James Neal definitely has got in and done in his career when it comes to the Stanley Cup playoffs. 9 years in the playoffs, 104 games, has put up 55 points in his career coming into this series. Here come the Flames now. Sean Monahan, left side. Monahan turns away, gets it to Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau back for Monahan. The Flames playing this top line quite a bit here tonight. Elias Lindholm's shot kicked out by Koskinen, and the Oilers will once again dump this down the ice. The other thing to remember about James Neal is he's been to 2 Stanley Cup finals in consecutive years with Nashville and Vegas. Also played in quite a few playoff runs there for the Pittsburgh Penguins, although never winning the Stanley Cup in any of those seasons. And as mentioned, 4 playoff games last year for James Neal. He was actually just scratched for game number 5. Face off won by the Flames now. Monahan gets it to Giordano, and a pass across intercepted by Cassian. Athanasiou has it now and gets it back to Cassian, but Athanasiou was hit by Rasmus Andersson, which put the play offside. The star of game 1, Andres Athanasiou, 4 points in that opening game. Had a point in the second game. And 5 points through 2 games is not bad for a guy that the Oilers picked up at the deadline that came in with just 1 career point in the Stanley Cup playoffs in his career. Michael Backlund. This is the Matthew Tkachuk, and Backlund will try a long shot that chipped into the corner by Koskinen. Darnell Nurse now has it on the boards, and it's stolen back by Mangiapane, who throws it to the net. And no Flames traffic there, so Koskinen will just cover it up. Face off to the left now of Mikko Koskinen, and it's won by Michael Backlund to the Flames captain Mark Giordano with a heavy shot, and Koskinen turning that aside as Giordano leaning into a very heavy shot. Here comes Andrei Athanasiou. Sends it across to the Oilers captain Connor McDavid. Now for Adam Larsson, and he'll fire a shot. Stopped by Riddick. Clefbaum at the point. Hit off the puck there, but regains control, and then the Flames steal it, and Giordano's knocked down as the Oilers steal it back. Connor McDavid in! And a dangerous chance there for the Oilers as their captain walks in with a shot. Nugent Hopkins, cross for Cassian, scores! Zach Cassian. This game is tied. And the turnover by the Calgary Flames is costly as McDavid will slide this over to Zach Cassian, and he'll pop in his first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs to tie this game up with 1 minute and 2 seconds to go here in the first period. Excuse me, that was Nugent Hopkins with the pass as he draws the lone assist. And that quiets the sea of red faithful here in the Saddledome. Less than a minute to go now. Flames working this one in. A long shot that's comes back to the far point. Brody gets this to Monahan, and Hamonic now back to TJ Brody with a shot that again hits Koskinen up high. Oilers now in the dying seconds of this one. And that will do it. A late goal from Zach Cassian, and the Oilers' top line ties this game up after the Flames opened the scoring with Sam Bennett's first. But the Oilers with a nice response here as the two Alberta rivals continue to go at it here in Game 3 of the 2020 Stanley Cup Playoffs. Back inside the Saddledome for period number 2 here of Game 3, Calgary and Edmonton. Shots were 16-12 in that first period for the Calgary Flames. The game tied 1-1 after the opening 20 minutes of game number 3. Mark Giordano at the point now with a long shot that doesn't make its way through. And here's one of the goal scorers from the opening period, Zach Cassian. Sam Bennett, the other one for the Flames, as Lindholm walks in with a dangerous opportunity. And Koskinen will elect to cover this one up after Zach Cassian gave the puck away. Face off now to the right of Koskinen. Connor McDavid versus Sean Monahan. Won by Monahan. Giordano gets it now across to Andersson and back to Mark Giordano. And now Rasmus Andersson, and another blocked shot by the Edmonton Oilers. This one, Andres Athanasiou getting in the lane of the Calgary Flames shots from the point. Mark Giordano now at center ice. Looks for a passing option. Gets it to Monahan, and now Gaudreau in the middle. He'll spin away from a check and cuts back to the slot and sets up Andersson for a one-timer. Now Lindholm with a second chance as Koskinen once again not giving out any rebounds to this Calgary team. So they'll try the face-off again. This time both second lines coming out for both teams as Leon Draisaitl wins this face-off. Gets it back to Oscar Klefbom, who was mentioned in the first, leads the NHL in playoff goal scoring through 2 games, 6 points, 2 goals and 4 assists. including a 3-point night there in game number 2. Adam Larsson, who also had a 3-point night in that game, gets this one to Draisaitl, but it's intercepted by Mangiapane, who works the puck in for Calgary. Andrew Mangiapane. Cross to Michael Backlund, and Backlund from about the hash marks will fire a shot up high, and Koskinen pushing that to the corner. Oilers coming back the other way now. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins picked up his first career playoff goal in game number 2. Got it now again in the corner. Cuts this out to Ethan Bear with a huge shot, and that's gloved down by David Riddick. Ethan Bear looking for his first ever career playoff point. It's been a -2 through 2 games, Ethan Bear. He's got the puck again here at the point, walks in and shoots, and again, David Riddick at the top of the blue paint to cut that one off. Now Josh Archibald will try a shot, and that one's blocked. Milan Lucic for the Flames. Lucic taking this in and drop it back for Rasmus Andersson. He'll slide it to Derek Ryan, who's covering the other point. Ryan will drop it back for Andersson, and his shot is stopped there by Koskinen. In the corner, the Flames steal. Milan Lucic over to Dylan Dubé. Flames third line out there now, and Derek Ryan will try a shot from about the slot. And Koskinen once again covering this one up. Well, the Flames definitely trusting the third line a lot more than other teams. They've been good throughout the regular season for the Calgary Flames, and again in these Stanley Cup playoffs. Dylan Dubé, Milan Lucic, and Derek Ryan. There's Connor McDavid, who gets knocked down by Andersson, and he steals the puck back from the Oilers captain. Across to Giordano, banks it off the boards for Johnny Gaudreau, and Gaudreau, who's been quiet so far in this game, has 4 points, coming into tonight's game. 3 goals, I should say. Sean Monahan across to Elias Lindholm, and back to Giordano, scores! A rocket from the point for the Flames captain, Mark Giordano. Calgary has taken a 2-1 lead here in period 2. Well, pretty simple shot here from Giordano, who loads it up from the point and beats Koskinen cleanly on the right side. And not sure if Koskinen was screened, but that is a huge goal for the Flames captain. His first of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And 4th point. And now another chance for Monahan in front, and he's stopped. Here comes Cassian back for the Oilers, trying to respond as he gets a slap shot away, and David Riddick will stop that. Giordano has his man pinned in the corner. Connor McDavid comes out with the puck though, and will send it back to Adam Larsson. Now down low for Cassian, who's crunched by Rasmus Andersson, and the building erupts as the momentum back in the favor of Calgary after the Giordano goal. Here's Michael Backlund, and he'll score! Right off the bench and into the play, Michael Backlund has given Calgary a 2-goal lead. And Johnny Gaudreau sends it to Michael Backlund, who will rip one from about almost the blue line and beat Mikko Koskinen. And that is a huge goal for the Flames. 2 quick strikes by Calgary. And it's 3-1 Flames. Assist going to Johnny Gaudreau and Sean Monahan, as Michael Backlund comes off the bench and scores for the Flames. And now the Oilers trying to respond as Draisaitl takes a shot. Stopped by Riddick. Michael Backlund has been a big playoff performer for the Calgary Flames in his career. Just his 4th Stanley Cup playoff goal. But again, some of the biggest goals have come from Michael Backlund in the recent times for Calgary, including an overtime winner in Game 3 of the second round in 2015 for the Calgary Flames. Here's Kyler Yamamoto now in, and a rebound, scores! Yamamoto got the first shot and then followed it up with a rebound and has cut the Flames lead to 1. And a good pass by Nugent Hopkins to get this to Yamamoto, who gets the initial shot and then again follows up the second shot, and Travis Hamonic couldn't corral Kyler Yamamoto, who pops in his second goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And like we said off the top, we're expecting this to be another high-scoring game. 12 goals combined in the first game, 9 goals combined in the second game. We've already got 5 goals combined just past the halfway mark of regulation here in Game 3. Josh Archibald now for the Oilers, and Tyler Ennis will work this in over the line. Ennis walking in from the left side and takes a shot up high where Riddick will hang on to that. Flames with the win off the faceoff here as TJ Brody gets this, and get this up to Matthew Tkachuk up the right side across to Mangiapane, and drops it back for TJ Brody, who winds up a shot. And that one's turned aside by Koskinen. Oilers come back the other way. Here's Oscar Klefbom. Klefbom working this one in, and will take a shot, and once again Riddick, this time hanging on. Kyler Yamamoto, who had 26 points through 27 games this season with Edmonton, playing in his first ever playoff action in 3 seasons with Edmonton, and scored 2 playoff goals in 3 career games so far. Not a bad way to start for Kyler Yamamoto, the 21-year-old from Spokane. And now Dubé scores! Speaking of youngsters in their rookie playoff appearances, Dylan Dubé in the slot beats Mikko Koskinen, and Calgary has a 2-goal lead back. What an offensive explosion here in the second period, as the Saddle erupts here in Calgary. And that third line once again going to work for the Flames. Dylan Dubé from Lucci and Rasmus Andersson with just over 6 minutes to go. And now a breakaway here for Derek Ryan, and he's in with a shot, and it's stopped by Koskinen as Nugent Hopkins did a good job getting back and taking away the breakaway opportunity for Derek Ryan. Action at both ends here in game number 3. Face up to the left of Mikko Koskinen, and it's won by Leon Draisaitl. Oilers get it, but almost turn it over, and now they're pinned on the boards, and they do turn it over. Dubé for Milan Lucic in the slot, and kind of a similar play to the Dubé goal. This one goes stopped by Koskinen as Yamamoto's got the puck the other way. Kyler Yamamoto to Leon Draisaitl, and he'll try a shot, and Nugent Hopkins on the rebound. Both chances turned aside by Riddick. Yamamoto in the corner, and Giordano steals the puck back for Calgary. Rasmus Andersson gets this up to Sean Monahan and TJ Brody. Monahan drops it for Rasmus Andersson. Andersson will bank this off the boards for Monahan, and Monahan, who's got 4 assists so far in these Stanley Cup playoffs. Sorry, 3 assists. Yet to find the back of the net. Here's Connor McDavid with a nice move, and he walks in with a shot. Riddick turning that aside. Monahan picks it up off the boards, and Andersson will try a long pass here to Elias Lindholm up the right side. Lindholm spins. Goes back to the corner here with the puck, and will drop it all the way back for Monahan, and he'll go back to Lindholm. Putting it behind the net now for Johnny Gaudreau, who centers it, and a shot here that's blocked on its way to the goal by Travis Hamonic. Oilers get the puck out now. Up the right side. And cutting to the middle is Cassian, gets it across to Riley Sheahan, and he'll try a couple shots, and Riddick will squeeze the pads on that one. Well, Dylan Dubé's second goal in his 3rd career playoff game is the latest goal of this offensive explosion here in the second period, as another shot is turned aside by Riddick in close. Puck comes back to the point, but eludes Oscar Klefbom at the blue line, and Adam Larsson will retreat in his own zone. Drops this back for Klefbom, and now Riley Sheahan on the other side, and Sheahan will put on the brakes and get this to Tyler Ennis in the slot. Ennis back for Klefbom, and this one taking a bad deflection as almost went right to an Edmonton Oiler. Flames do get it out though, as Hamnick's got it to Matthew Tkachuk, and Tkachuk will send this over to TJ Brody, who walks in with a shot. Stopped by Koskinen. Archibald across to Larson up the boards, I should say, and picked up by Ennis now, and He'll get it up to Archibald. Less than 35 seconds to go in this one as the Oilers will just dump this one in and make changes. Calgary, TJ Brody for Matthew Tkachuk trying to get a late one here for the Flames. Sam Bennett opened the scoring in period number 1 as Bennett gets it back to Travis Hamonic, and at the side of the net, Tkachuk can corral the loose puck as he goes back to the point here. Hamonic, and time will expire as the Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers not disappointing here in Game 3. It's been another offensive explosion here in this series. The Flames captain picking up his first goal of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. And Calgary will head to the locker room with a commanding 4-2 lead after 40. And we're back inside the Saddledome, the Sea of Red, in full force here in Game 3 of the 2020 Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Edmonton Oilers lead this series 2-1, and Calgary trying to respond here with their first win of the series, up 4-2 after 40 minutes of play. Sean Monahan across to Rasmus Andersson. Monahan with 4 assists so far in this series, but has yet to find the back of the net. He's got the puck now and puts it in the corner. Monahan, of course, another 20-goal season, 22 goals this season, in fact, for the Flames. Across now to Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau, he's also been quiet in this game, although he does have a point. Rasmus Andersson across to Mark Giordano. Monahan, 2 assists tonight. Across to Johnny Gaudreau in front, and a pad save by Koskinen on one of the most dangerous Calgary players. Rasmus Andersson is chased by Zach Kassian in his own zone and gets this up to Monahan across to Elias Lindholm, and now he'll feed Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau is knocked down there by Oscar Klefbom, and then Lindholm comes in and he knocks down Klefbom. Gets it to Johnny Gaudreau behind the Oilers' net, and Gaudreau will dance in front. He'll get a backhander that deflects just wide. Great response by Elias Lindholm to stick up for his teammate there. Yamamoto now sends this one across to Archibald, and he comes in just onside, and Tkachuk steals the puck back for the Flames, and he'll work one-on-one with the Oilers' defense. Matthew Tkachuk now drops it back for Andersson. He'll cut right to the net with a shot, and Koskinen will hang on to that one. With Tkachuk at the doorstep, who else but number 19? Another look here at the hit by Elias Lindholm on Oscar Klefbom after Klefbom just crunched Gaudreau along the boards. Lindholm coming in and returning the favor. Hasn't been an over physically series between these two teams. Not like the regular season where we saw a lot of fireworks between Tkachuk and Kassian, and a couple fights between multiple players, including the goalies, Mike Smith and Cam Talbot, the 2 goalies that are not playing in this series. But so far in 3 games of the Battle of Alberta here in 2020, hasn't been too physical. Both teams focused on getting the goals and getting the wins here, and Edmonton's got 2 of them so far through 3 games. Matthew Tkachuk now working across center ice, and Tkachuk has sent this in front to Mangiapane, who gets a shot away, and that's stopped by Koskinen. Flames will be content to keep that puck deep in the Oilers' zone throughout this period with a 2-goal lead. Here comes Yamamoto now to Riley Sheahan, and he'll fire a shot wide. Sheahan now, and Riddick will stop this one at the side of the goal, and Calgary will pick it up. It's TJ Brody. Down low for Derek Ryan in front, and he'll get a shot, and a second shot that's stopped by Koskinen. Now Mangiapane tries a shot, and this one's sitting on the goal line. Andrew Mangiapane that close to his second career playoff goal. Tyler Ennis intercepted neatly by Hamonic. Of course, Andrew Mangiapane opened the scoring in the 2019 Stanley Cup Playoffs for Calgary in game number 1. His second season here in the postseason for Calgary. Flames got the puck now. Lucci's got this stuff. Hamonic, and it's banked off the boards for Dylan Dubé, who's got a goal tonight. Dubé rims this behind the Oilers' goal, and it's picked up by the Oilers, and Edmonton breaks out. Josh Archibald up the right side. Archibald stops as Giordano gets in his way, gets it to the Calgary native Mike Green, and back to Josh Archibald, and back to Mike Green at the point. He's got a heavy shot, and he uses it. Riddick makes a save, and then it was scrambling there in front as McDavid picks it up, cuts it in, and it's stopped by Riddick. Good save there again by David Riddick, who's been positionally sound tonight in the Calgary goal. Here's Toby Reeder now for the Flames, backhanding a shot just wide. Oilers got it again, and Mike Green, as mentioned, a heavy shot. We've seen him use it quite a bit there in his days back in Washington and then in Detroit. A Calgary native taking it behind the Flames goal and getting it back to Cassian. They'll send this across to Matt Benning at the other point, and down low for McDavid and back to Benning. The Oilers pressing now, trying to get within one. Green will shoot, and that one's stopped by Riddick as the Flames bring this out. It's the captain Giordano trying to get this down into Edmonton territory as he goes off for a change. Here is Matt Benning, who will drop it back for Andres Athanasiou. And gets this to Cassian, and he's got a goal tonight, and he gets a couple chances there before he's knocked down. Sam Bennett opened the scoring in the first period. Bennett in over the line. Bennett makes a toe drag and then fires a shot as Koskinen will glove this one down. Well, Mark Giordano's been a force tonight, both offensively and defensively. Got his first goal of these Stanley Cup playoffs for the Flames. Just 5 goals in the regular season through 60 games for Mark Giordano after winning the Norris Trophy the year before. But tonight, arguably his best game of these Stanley Cup playoffs early on. Johnny Gaudreau, Sean Monahan now. Back to Johnny Gaudreau in the slot, and his shot blocked as Elias Lindholm will spin and shoot, and Koskinen's got to look behind him as he squeezes the pads on the Elias Lindholm chance. Well, Mark Giordano, who's obviously a veteran at 36 years of age, has not had a lot of playoff success in his career. Has actually only played in 15 career playoff games, this being his 16th career playoff game, despite playing for 14 years in the NHL. James Neal backhands a shot just wide here. Oscar Klefbom now at the point, and back for James Neal, and Monahan picks up the puck, Gets this across to Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau in over the line. Pickpocketed there by Adam Larson as the Oilers will come back the other way. Working on with 6 minutes to go in this hockey game. Calgary with a 4-2 lead. Edmonton with a 2-0 series lead. Here comes Noah Hannafin for the Flames, and Hannafin up the left side will put on the brakes and send this back to Matthew Tkachuk, who's covering the point, and that was blocked by his own man, Michael Backlund. Here come the Oilers. Jujhar Khaira. Cross to Nugent Hopkins, who gets a shot. A rebound sitting there, and Riddick will pounce on it with Ryan Nugent Hopkins in the blue paint. Well, coming back to Mark Giordano, you'll remember he missed the entire 2015 Stanley Cup playoffs with an injury, so wasn't able to play there. Played 4 games in 2017, 5 games last year in 2019, and just 4 games in 2007. That's all the playoff experience that the Flames captain has. Signed with the Calgary Flames just after that 2004 Stanley Cup playoff run. Played his first season in the KHL. Undrafted, by the way, was the Flames captain. And now might go down as one of the greatest defensemen in the history of the Calgary Flames organization. And he's had a solid game tonight at 36 years of age. He's the Flames leader, and he needs to be if the Flames are going to have any success here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Here come the Oilers, though, trying to spoil it. Cassian gets it across. A shot there by Bear, and then Athanasiou gets a rebound as Darnell Nurse has it again, and Draisaitl tries a shot. That's turned aside by David Riddick. Andres Athanasiou down low, cuts to the net with a shot. Stuck by Riddick. Elias Lindholm has it along the boards, and he'll get it to Michael Backlund. There's just 2 minutes to go in this hockey game. Flames up by 2. Johnny Gaudreau up the left side. Tries to work around Ethan Bear, but Bear cuts him off and banks his puck up to Josh Archibald. Archibald in the corner, squeezed off by the aforementioned Flames captain Giordano. Gets this to center ice, and Johnny Gaudreau will work it in again and send this across the ice to Derek Ryan, who tries a shot. And that one's stopped and blocked away by Koskinen. Less than a minute to go now in Calgary. Koskinen is being pulled as the Oilers have the extra attacker out there now. Puck deep in the Calgary zone as Adam Larson has it. He'll fire a shot off the glass and wide, and this comes all the way around for Archibald, who gets a shot. Doesn't make its way to the net. Tyler Ennis has it now. Oilers would love to get a whistle and get a timeout to get their top unit out here. Josh Archibald in the slot. Back for Adam Larson. Scores! Adam Larson, a shot from the point. And it's made this a 1-goal game. With less than 30 seconds to go, Adam Larson firing a slap shot from the point to beat Riddick, and the Oilers have life. With the goalie pulled, and that is a huge goal as the Oilers don't elect to take a timeout here. But they do send out Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto. And you'll have to think McDavid will be over the boards as soon as Koskinen, who comes out of the net now. Here come the Oilers looking to tie this game up. Back to the point for Adam Larsson. Cross to Leon Draisaitl. Zach Kassian now the extra man off the boards. Off the bench, I should say. Draisaitl. Back to the point for Yamamoto with a shot. Turned aside by Riddick. Here comes Klefbom now. He walks this in. Yamamoto again, that one deflecting over the net. Kassian, one last try here for the Oilers. Along the boards is Larsson. He'll shoot, and Riddick saves that as he takes that right into the stomach. And with 1.3 seconds to go, David Riddick hangs on. And Calgary, that close to winning their first game of this series. One more face-off, and it's won by Michael Backlund. And the Calgary Flames will take Game 3 of the Western Conference quarterfinals and claw their way back into this series. What a performance by David Riddick, with his best outing of these Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Calgary Flames have won their first game here in Game 3. 2-1 series lead now for Edmonton as we head into Game 4, which will definitely be one of the most important games of any series, and we'll be here in the Battle of Alberta. Calgary wins another wild one here tonight from the Saddledome, 4-3 the final in Game 3.